Hey everybody, I'm Ra Rahula, Ruth Alsobert Keurig avatar. I'd like to take you through a journey through the secrets of Second Life. And this journey is mine through the teaching using this virtual environment. So let's move on. What life? A lot of people say to me, oh, I can't have a second life. I can't even get my first life together. Well, Second Life has actually helped me with my first life. It's helped me to become organized, more communicative, disciplined. It's really helped a lot. Second Life is a way to enhance a class. You can use this pixelated world to create projects with your own courses. For example, one instructor used Second Life to visit the Hajj, and this is something that could never have happened in the physical world ever. Second Life is free, basically, and you can use many of the universities and colleges that already exist and utilize their surroundings to assist your students. Second Life is a virtual environment. Many say that it feels like a game because it is computer generated. And to me, a game consists of levels. So in a sense, it could be because there are certain levels. You have your basic levels and your more advanced levels, especially when you get to building and scripting and things of that manner. There are specific levels. However, there is nothing that you really win except the feeling when you complete a project. It feels really good. It's self-worthiness, it just feels good. Avatars are the pixelated people behind the persons at the computer. Every avatar has a person behind it. Some persons have multiple avatars, maybe 10 avatars that run around, and it's just one person using these same avatars. But every avatar has a person. Now, an avatar can be human. An avatar can be androgynous. An avatar can be a vehicle, a robot, or an animal. Wikipedia describes an avatar as a deliberate descent of a deity to Earth, or a descent of the Supreme Being. It's almost like a perfection, almost godlike. You can see where philosophy would be a great topic within the Second Life environment. But always remember that avatars are usually an extension of a person's self. It's an extension of who you are. Right now I'm using my voice. It took me a long time before I started using my voice. I'm not really sure why I didn't want to use it. I just felt maybe it would just show too much of me. I was a little afraid, I guess. But now I'm very comfortable speaking with my avatar. You can also use chat, which is typing, instant messages between two persons. No one else can hear those messages. You can have group chats where multiple people are online. You can also have group voice where multiple people can use voice and chat back and forth. Communicating is pretty cool. You can use this as an office hour type of a thing if you have online office hours you'd like to bring into the mix in your course. Navigating in the virtual environment, you have your basic walk. Everybody can walk and everyone can run, but what's really neat is you can fly. You can actually hop in the air and fly around and teleport very quickly from one place to another, and we're going to do that pretty soon. We're going to take a little tour here. There's all kinds of learning that happens in Second Life. There's a dialect type of a learning, a conversation between people. There's plenty of this, because you have to ask, how do you do that? And then you have to relate whatever it is to your own experience with how you identify. You can identify between your past experiences, your present experiences, and you identify with yourself and your environment. And that's how you can bring that into the virtual environment of Second Life. There's blended learning. Blended learning happens because there's so much you can do. There is auditory learning, there's kinesthetic learning, there's visual learning, so it's very, very, very blended in the virtual environment. I noticed when I was teaching there was a heavy power blur. I was no longer the all-knowing being. When you're in a classroom, you're kind of the person who knows, and you're explaining this to everyone. And when I started teaching online, I became more of a facilitator. And then when I brought myself into the virtual environment, I actually became an equal with the students. There was I was higher than anyone. I just was someone who knew a little bit more than they did, and I was there to guide them. It was a wonderful feeling. It made the students open up, and I had some really great classes. This last class was the best. It was a wonderful experience. The virtual environment learning is very creative, very fun, very colorful, as you can see. It's just a great way to bring your topic and enhance it. You can do this in many ways. It can be an immersive type of a learning where you and your students dive into Second Life and explore, or it can be an excursive where you, as the instructor, are in Second Life and you take your students on a tour via video, or in an actual classroom where you're at the lectern and you're providing information that way. Many topics can be taught via Second Life. Art, science, business. We're going to actually do a tour right now, right this very minute, and go to a few of these places. So I'm going to open up my note card, and the first stop is an arts. This is Santa Barbara City College, and where I'm taking you is from their design class, their digital design class. So let me open up my chat here and type that little thing in there, and we are going to do what we call teleport. Select that, teleport. This place was discovered through, there was a hunt where people move around and they find little objects, and there was a particular hunt here at this place. So I found this, and this is, what an exciting place this is. This has everything, and remind you, this is Santa Barbara, and they have many media courses at their college, but each place here has an animation to it. So if you sit on an object, you actually become animated and do several things. Ooh, I'm like a monkey because there's so many bananas. This is called La Cactus, and it's very retro, as you can see. It has little 45s everywhere, and of course the cacti, La Cactus. So it's a very fun little place. Let me go back to the note card here and take a tour to the next spot, which is a cardiology school of medicine. And at this place they teach radiology, and they teach radiology online. So it's very interesting at what things can be found right here that already exists. You don't even have to recreate anything or reinvent the wheel. So let me just hide everything here for you so you can see. When you appear at this place, there are several. There's actually an MRI area here that you can go into. Each place also has music that you can turn on and off and stuff. Over here, as soon as this particular thing reses, and by resing it means it appears, you can see the person's in bed, and it tells you a little story. Hi, I just had this test and I was unable to exercise and I had to take some medicine, medication induced. What would you do? And the student has to actually click and on an object and describe what they would do to assist that student. So there's all kinds of other information here at this School of Cardiology, which is basically a science. So I'm going to take you over to the Happy Hat, and the Happy Hat is actually a store that was created via Rawrahula to help try to compensate, help gather income to pay for the class that I teach in Second Life. So it started out, somebody in a business course said, could you teach business in Second Life? And I said, well, yeah, sure you could. You could teach it all the way from designing the store, displaying, all kinds of things. So here we are at the Happy Hat, and of course the Happy Hat is a hat. And the hat has hats and clothing and shoes and all kinds of stuff that is sold to people, and trust me, they actually purchase it. So it's a way, how it's displayed. If it doesn't look good, no one's going to purchase it, and then it's just a creative type of a fun thing to do and help with income. I do know a few people that their total income is from Second Life, and they've been doing it for a long time, and I'm sure it took them a long time to get to where they needed to go. Alright, well, since I'm here, up here is the office. This office is where I hold my first class in World, and then we head up to the building area and have most of the rest of the classes. So, alright, let's move on. And this is an instructor's office at the University of Cincinnati. And this particular instructor teaches sociology. So I just want to head over there and show you, not only can you have a whole campus in the virtual environment, but you can hold your office hours there as well. So here we are. My hair never made it on that teleport. But I'm in this particular instructor's office, and teaches behavioral science, and she has her little office chair there. And if I zoom out, you can see all of the other instructors' offices. Now you'll never guess what this instructor teaches, but so you have all these instructors' offices, and then you have campus areas, campus classrooms, and other types of information that students will find when needed. This particular area right here, this gal here, Fleep, she's very involved in Second Life and has been instrumental in bringing virtual environments into higher education, especially there at the University of Cincinnati. Her name is Chris Collins, and some of you may have seen her at some of the seminars that you go to. So here's a little thing about social sciences. Now here is a place called Instituto Español. Now Instituto Español is not really associated with one particular university. It's a whole bunch of instructors who speak Spanish, and they want to help others learn Spanish as well. So it's actually a whole sem of learning to speak Spanish, and each little area has someone who comes in and will teach Spanish. And this is one of the instructors here with her iguana. But it says when she's going to come in, they give, if you click on some of the signs, you can find out when they're going to be there to provide classes. And each little area has their own little class. And it's a pretty big sim to speak, to learn Spanish. Alright, and there's not just Spanish, you can learn German. Most of the Japanese learn English, so there is an English as a second language. So our next stop is DeVry University, and this particular DeVry University is through their psychology department. And that's all it's about is, well, DeVry is DeVry. This part is from their psychology department, so a lot of the area is where you'll learn about psychology. And for whatever reason, their landing point is in the water. I'm not sure why. But every time I come here, I land in the water. So what I'm going to do is show you a little bit about flying. Remember that little thing I said about how you could move around by flying? You just hop in the air and you fly around. You can fly over to one of the pieces of the campus and check it out, you know, and zoom down and see what's going on. So here we'll just cruise up. Wow, spinning doors. How do you like that? Woohoo! So this is University of Dry, and you'll find all kinds of, it's very bright in here. Whew. You can find a lot of information here and through the whole campus, and this is a pretty big sim as well. But once again, one of their main topics in this area is the psychology department. And could you imagine doing psychology in the virtual environment? Sociology and psychology would kind of blend together in this virtual environment. At least I would think so. So next on the list of my note card, which I think I closed, so let me open up my inventory and get that note card right back here. And the last stop is a little library. It's on a place called the Genesis. And it's a library, and I thought it was kind of cool. I actually checked out a book here. What you do is you go to the library and you click on their bookshelves, and then it provides you with a list of books that you can actually check out and read. They've been converted to note cards, you know, or you can hang out right here at the library and you can get really comfy and read a book. So all these are bookshelves here, beautiful music happening. So let's say I just click on the bookshelf and it would appear, it's going to offer me these 9 books, American Notes. I'm just going to, Christmas Carol, wow, look at that one. And I can cruise through the note card and go to the next thing, and there's many, 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 many books to choose from. That's just a little library, and what I'm going to do is go ahead and pick this number 13 here. So I choose number 13, and what happens is an object goes into my inventory, and when I get back to the area I can open up the object and read the book. So I am going to go ahead and head over to this area. It's going to head back here to where we started from. What are your questions? What are your concerns? What are your conclusions? I'd love to hear your ideas on what you think you could do in your classes. Give me a call.